World News Update, October 15th, 2025. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's October 15th, 25, and wow, do we have a packed news day for you. We're talking political upheaval in Madagascar, shocking news from the music world, some absolutely wild moments in baseball, and yes, Pokemon fans, we've got something special for you too. From gaming reveals to global politics, from Federal Reserve policy to Hollywood blockbusters, today's lineup has something for everyone. So let's not waste any time. Let's dive right into today's top 8 stories. 1. Madagascar crisis. We're starting with some breaking international news that's developing as we speak. Madagascar is experiencing a major political crisis right now. An elite military unit in the island nation has seized power from President Andry Rajoelina, who has reportedly fled the country. According to reports from the BBC, Madagascar's parliament has voted to impeach President Rajoelina following significant anti-government protests that have been rocking the country. This is a huge development for the island nation off the coast of East Africa. The situation appears to have escalated rapidly, with the military stepping in and the president allegedly leaving the country altogether. We're still waiting for more details about what led to this dramatic turn of events and what it means for Madagascar's 28 million citizens going forward. This is definitely a situation we'll be monitoring closely, and I'll keep you updated as more information comes in. Political stability in the region is crucial, and this kind of military intervention always raises serious concerns about what comes next. Now, shifting gears to some absolutely heartbreaking news from the music world. D'Angelo, one of the most influential and visionary artists in modern soul and R&B, has passed away at just 51 years old. If you're not familiar with D'Angelo, let me tell you, this man was a genuine legend. His 3 albums, Brown Sugar, Voodoo, and Black Messiah, aren't just good albums, they're considered modern classics that completely transformed the neo-soul genre. Rolling Stone is calling him soul's modern visionary, and that's not hyperbole. D'Angelo's music was known for its incredible depth, raw emotion, and innovative production. He influenced countless artists across multiple genres. Songs like Untitled, How Does It Feel, and Really Love showcase not just his vocal talent, but his ability to create these lush, organic soundscapes that felt timeless. The fact that he only released 3 albums over his career makes each one even more precious. He was an artist who took his time, who prioritized quality over quantity, and the music world is far richer for it. Our thoughts go out to his family, friends, and the millions of fans worldwide who are mourning this tremendous loss today. Story 3. Pokemon Legends ZA. Alright, let's switch to something a bit lighter. Gamers, this one's for you. We finally have some answers about Pokemon Legends ZA and when it takes place in the Pokemon timeline. Ever since this game was announced, fans have been speculating like crazy. You know how Pokemon Legends Arceus took us way back in time to ancient Sinnoh? Everyone assumed ZA would do something similar with the Kalos region. Well, according to IGN, we now have official confirmation about the game's placement in the timeline, and apparently there are some surprises in store. The speculation has been wild in the Pokemon community. Would we see the creation of Lumiose City? Would we witness the war that was mentioned in X and Y? Would we travel to the future instead of the past? The reveal is apparently answering a lot of these questions and setting up what could be an amazing narrative. I won't spoil all the details here, but if you're a Pokemon fan, definitely check out the full article. The Legends series has been such a breath of fresh air for the franchise, and knowing where ZA fits in the overall story just makes the anticipation even more intense. Story 4, Federal Reserve Update, 250. Now let's talk money and economics for a moment. I promise I'll keep this interesting. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell gave an important speech yesterday on the economic outlook and monetary policy, and there are some key takeaways that could affect all of our wallets. Powell received the Adam Smith Award from the National Association for Business Economics, and he used the platform to discuss where the economy is heading and what the Fed's thinking about interest rates and inflation. For those who don't follow this stuff closely, the Federal Reserve's decisions basically influence everything from your mortgage rates to your credit card interest to how much it costs to borrow money for a car. The speech touched on monetary policy direction, which is Fed speak for, are we raising rates, lowering rates, or keeping them the same? These decisions have ripple effects throughout the entire global economy. If you're planning any major purchases, looking to buy a house, or just want to understand why prices are the way they are, Powell's comments give us insight into what's coming down the pipeline. The full speech is available on the Federal Reserve's website if you want the deep dive, but the main message seems to be about balancing economic growth with keeping inflation under control. The tightrope the Fed is always walking. Sticking with the economic theme, here's something that should have everyone's attention. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JPMorgan Chase, is raising some red flags about corporate lending. According to CNBC, Dimon is pointing to recent auto company bankruptcies as early signs of excess in corporate lending. Now, when Jamie Dimon talks, people in the financial world listen. He's one of the most influential voices in global banking. What he's seeing is concerning. Banks like JP Morgan, Jefferies, and Fifth Third have been providing significant financing to private companies, and some of these bets are going bad. The bankruptcies in the auto sector are particularly worrying because they might be the canary in the coal mine, a warning sign that lending standards have gotten too loose and that more trouble could be brewing. We've seen this movie before, right? When banks get too aggressive with lending and companies can't pay back their loans, things can snowball quickly. Dimon's basically saying, hey, let's pump the brakes here before we have a bigger problem on our hands. It's a wake-up call for the financial industry and potentially a warning sign for the broader economy. Keep an eye on this story. It could be really significant as we head toward the end of 2025. 6. NFL Power Rankings. Sports fans, let's talk football. The NFL season is in full swing, and Week 7's power rankings are absolutely wild. According to NFL.com's Eric Edholm, we have a new number 1 team for the second consecutive week, and it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield. That's right, Baker Mayfield, the guy who was getting doubted left and right, is now leading the top-ranked team in the NFL. What a redemption story. The Bucs have been absolutely crushing it, and Mayfield is proving all the haters wrong. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks have cracked the top 3, which is another surprise given how competitive the NFC is this year. The power rankings show just how wide open this season is. Nobody can figure out who the best team really is because there's so much parity. We're seeing new contenders emerge, traditional powerhouses struggling, and week-to-week chaos that makes every Sunday unpredictable. It's actually making for one of the most exciting NFL seasons in recent memory. If you're into football, this is must-watch TV every weekend. The playoff race is going to be absolutely bonkers, and if the Buccaneers can maintain this momentum, we might be looking at a serious Super Bowl contender in Tampa. Story 7. Dodgers-Brewers Wild Play. Speaking of sports, we need to talk about what might be the craziest play of the MLB postseason so far. The Dodgers and Brewers are battling it out in the National League Championship Series, and Max Muncy of the Dodgers came this close to hitting a grand slam in the opening game. According to the Associated Press, Muncy absolutely crushed one that looked like it was gone. We're talking a grand slam that would have put the Dodgers up 4-0 right out of the gate. But here's where it gets insane. The Brewers somehow turned it into one of the most incredible double plays in postseason history. Can you imagine? You think you're watching a grand slam, you're ready to celebrate, and instead your team ends up with 2 outs and nobody on base. That's a massive swing in momentum, pun intended. Going from potentially being down 4-0 to getting out of the inning completely changes the psychology of the game. This is the kind of play that defines postseason baseball. Inches matter. One slightly different trajectory, and we're talking about a completely different ball game. The NLCS is shaping up to be an absolute thriller, and if you're not watching, you're missing out on some incredible baseball. These are the moments that become legendary, the plays people will be talking about for years. Story 8. Mel Gibson's Resurrection. Finally, let's wrap up with some Hollywood news. Mel Gibson's sequel to The Passion of the Christ is officially in production, and there's been a major casting change. According to Variety, The Resurrection of the Christ has started filming, but Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in the original 2004 film, has been replaced. Finnish actor Jaakko Otonen is now taking on the role of Jesus, and they've also cast a new Mary Magdalene. The Passion of the Christ was one of the most financially successful independent films of all time, and one of the most talked about religious films ever made. It was controversial, powerful, and made a massive cultural impact. The idea of a sequel focusing on the resurrection has been in development for years, and now it's actually happening. Recasting the lead role is obviously a bold choice. Caviezel's performance was iconic and is deeply associated with that film. It'll be interesting to see how audiences react to a new actor in the role, and whether Gibson can capture lightning in a bottle twice. Religious films always generate intense discussion, and you can bet The Resurrection of the Christ will be no exception when it hits theaters. And there you have it, folks. Your World News Update for October 15th, 2025. We covered everything from political upheaval in Madagascar to baseball miracles, from economic warnings to Hollywood blockbusters, and we said goodbye to a true musical legend. If you found this video helpful, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss tomorrow's news update. And drop a comment below. Which story caught your attention the most? Are you worried about those economic warning signs, or are you more excited about Pokemon Legends ZA? I want to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay informed, and I'll see you tomorrow with another news update. Peace out. Hat screen, subscribe button animation, suggested videos, social media links. Total runtime, approximately 7 minutes 40 seconds.